Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another little tutorial. Nothing spectacular, but I got a freebie off of I think I saw this creator on my Facebook page in my business side. So it's Rose Bohemian or Bohemian Rose. I will link it below. I'm so sorry I did not make a note of it before I turned the camera on, but they're these adorable images. Look at these Bohemian kind of mixed media-ish girls, and there's 2 pages. Really phenomenal. So I will be sure to link it, but I thought we'd just do a fun little easy project, just because sometimes it's nice to break out of the projects that we're working on and do something a little bit different, toss things up a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit of ink smushing with some Distress Oxide inks. So we're going to be using Worn Lipstick, Picked Raspberry, I believe, some Ground Espresso. I've got my drawer right over there. I can reach behind me if I decide I want something more. I've got some ink already on my fingers. I'm going to grab my cart here, excuse me, so that I have access to my paper towels. I've got a water bottle. I've got my Fabri-Tac and Barely Arts glue, because it's my friend. Art Glitter Glue and I are not on speaking terms right now. So I also have a little bit of a mat here to do my smushing on, and then I have these Ranger Cars tags, and I want one of these to be able to fit in this project, so I did cut it down a little bit, but I'll show you that a little bit later here. So one is smaller than the other is what I'm meaning. And then these are going to be the focal points for those. I didn't pull any quotes or words or anything. I'll probably do that off camera and embellish them a little bit further. I just want to show you the actual project roots there. Got a stamp for doing some background stamping on the tags, so I'm going to set that aside. And then our other project is going to be using the slot die, and this is also from Sizzix, I believe. And so I've already cut it out, and I just cut it out of my own mixed media paper. This is an original of my mixed media paper, so I just thought it was nice to have kind of a grungy kind of background for the slot project here. So it's a slot die, and I think I already put it away, I'm sorry, but I'll link it. So, and these are just a bunch of bits that I thought we could fit inside of there, as well as one of the tags is going to slide in the back. I've got a lot here, so we'll see what we're going to end up using, but this is one of the images. Is that just precious? I just absolutely love it. I love it so much. So let's go ahead and start with the smushing one, because maybe while some of that's drying, we can work on this. I am going to grab another mat here so I have something to set these on when they're drying. So I'm just going to put one over here to my left, and I'm going to use one here in the project, and I'm going to set that aside so I don't get it all disgusting. And these are the dies I use, just in case you're curious, to cut out the various bits that we are going to be using today. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little piece. I just took one of the craft mats and cut it in half so that I have a smaller area to work on. So I'm going to set those aside, my little girls, so that they don't get yucky, and my stamp. And so we're going to start. I'm thinking I want a little bit of green too, so I'm going to reach behind me here and get maybe like Shabby Shutters or something like that. Old paper. I wonder how old paper would go. Goodness gracious. Where did it go? I thought I had that. Shabby Shutters. Give me just a quick second. Maybe I don't. I have peeled paint. I think that might be a little too green though. So I think we're going to skip that. Oh, crushed olive would be pretty. We'll get both of those out. You can use whatever you like. I normally don't. The only time I like to use Distress Oxide sprays or inks is this kind of project. I don't generally like the chalky look that they produce, but in this case it's going to be epic. So let's go ahead and start with some we'll start with the pinks. So you do want to shake these up. 5 minutes in and we haven't done anything. Goodness gracious. So I'm going to put both pinks down because they will play well together. Shake first. I like these two colors together. So there we go. And I'm going to roll up. Well, I'm hoping I don't get my sweater yucky. So I think we're going to use this one for the pinks. So I'm just going to smush it. Just kind of dabbing it in there. Okay, like so. And I'm going to give it, I should have sprayed the tag as well. Sometimes that helps everything to move a little bit more. So I'm going to set that aside for the moment. And then I think I'm going to wipe this up and go in. I think I might do the smaller tag in a different color scheme here. Rather than mixing them all, we'll see how I feel about that as I go along. But I think I'll mix the crushed olive and the ground espresso and see what we get. I think I'll start with the crushed olive first, not mix them. And so I'm going to go ahead and just again dab. Oh, this is a gorgeous color. Woo! Beautiful. Look at that. Yum, yum. So let me take a moment and I'm just going to wipe that. Normally I would try to use that up if I was working off camera, but I'm going to go ahead and wipe it. Set that aside for a second. And I'm going to get my heat tool out and dry these two really quick so we can go on to the next step. While I was drying that, I did spray it a little bit, so I just want to pat this down a little bit really quick and see what we get as far as our oxidization. So pretty. Oh, that's so nice. I'm trying to figure out which of the pinks is giving me this kind of an orangish, I don't know if you can see that orangish undertone. I wonder if we can tell. I think it's probably the worn lipstick, so we might go in with a little bit more of that. And I think we're safe to do that now because we're not mixing colors. We're just in the same color family. So I'm going to go ahead and spray some more of this down. Maybe this is the color I'm thinking. I don't know. Yeah, I like that. We're going to have to tone that color down a little bit though. I think it's a little bit too bright for what I'm going for here, but let's go ahead and zap these again. Actually, I'm going to go in with the espresso here before we dry again. Not going to waste a dry. And I'll probably cover these with some other paper just to cover up any messiness. I have no idea. I don't recall what kind of effect we get from ground espresso, but oh, that's really dark. Oh my goodness. That is so dark. Oh my word. Oh my word. Let's spray that and see if we can get some movement here. That's really, really dark. I'm going to dab it here and see if I can soften that out a little bit. It usually turns out okay. Oh, I love that. I love that. I feel like the green is not green enough. So I'm going to reach behind me and see if I've got something else I can use. Oh, there's my shabby shutters. Let's see if this one will work. I don't know if it's going to give us a different result or not, or add or take away from this. I'm not sure that I love the ground espresso, but we'll see. We'll hold one of those images up here and see what we're getting for something that's going to be pretty. So I'm going to just go straight in here. I think that's the trick right there. Right there. I do want some more up on that by the hole there because I don't want that white showing. That's better. Let's go ahead and wipe this up and take a look at this one and see how we feel about the pinkish one. I think it might again be a little bit bold, so I'm just going to go ahead and just get rid of any extra wetness there. And then we're going to add another color there to that one. I love what happened with this one though. That's really pretty. So I think that's gonna really be pretty for this one. Yeah, look at that. I think that's perfect. And then this one, this lady, do we want this lady for the pink one? This is very, very bright. So I'm gonna zap these one more time and I'm gonna come in with a little bit more of something else here to tone that down. Just a moment. Okay, I was looking at this image a little bit more and I think we don't need to do anything more with this one. I like that a lot, but this is too bright, too bright. It's gorgeous, but it's a little bit too bright for me. So I think I want to actually bring in some brown and maybe a little bit of green. So I'm going to reach for my, let's see. Oh, we've got Gathered Twig is a nice color as well. So let's try that. Let's try a little bit of Gathered Twig and the peeled, the crushed olive or peeled paint. Peeled paint. Peeled paint is so bright. Old paper. I don't know about old paper. We'll try it. So the cool thing about Distress Oxide sprays is that you can layer and layer and they'll never mix as long as it's dry. So it's really, really cool. So let's go in with one color at a time here so we don't get too crazy. And just get some on there. That's going to tone that pink down, which is good. Very good. I'm going to just spray that a little bit. That's kind of giving us an interesting blend. I like that. Still need to push it back a little bit more. I'm going to go right in with the green. I'm going to go in with the peeled paint because I think, or maybe the crushed olive. It's not going to cause a problem because it's in the same kind of color family. It's not opposite on the color wheel. This is a very bright color. So what I'm trying to do is just push back some of that pink. Very pretty. I wonder what we think of that. What do we think of that? I'm just going to go ahead and pat a little bit and see what we get. Sorry, I feel like I'm a little mumbly. I love that. I still feel like it's a little bit bold for that image. So I'm going to look one more time, see what I've got. Just feel like it needs something to push back that bright color. And it's not red enough for me. Fired brick. Should we try some fired brick? Why not? Why not? I'm not drying that. I'm just taking a risk here. It's just a tag, you know? Not a big deal. I'm not sure that that's going to suit me either, but we'll see. It's interesting. We are getting that pushed back, which I like. So I think this one will be, we're getting there. We're getting there. So I think what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to dry it and then I'm going to just splatter some color, whatever color I want to bring out in her, which I think is going to be more in the brown tones. So perhaps my vintage photo. So I've got my vintage photo as well. So let me dry these both really quick and we'll move on. Okay, so I'm going to move that one out of the way because I don't necessarily want to splatter it. So let's just go ahead and get a little bit of, I'm going to get my fan brush here, pardon my body, and some vintage photo. Let's see what we get here. Fingers crossed. Ooh, that's nice. That is very nice. I think I want to do that on the other one as well. I like that. That's what we're getting here. I think that's perfect. So let's do the same with the this other tag, just to bring out that brown again. A great way to pull something together is just by what's the word I'm looking for? Bringing some unity. I'm going to go a little heavier down here in this corner for some reason. Not sure why. And up here as well. Love it. Okay, so one more dry and then we will move on to putting these two together. Okay, let me just get a wipe and clean off my glass mat here just really quick. I'm going to get rid of that brush and we will finish up. Just a quick and easy project, just a little bit of fun play, just sometimes good. Sometimes I get very serious about like what like the end game is for something that I create, or I'm just busy working on a project and I lose track of other things that are important. So we decided that this was going to be the one for this one. I think that's lovely. She's already inked up. I am going to get my Vintage Photo archival ink here and ink up the edges of this tag and maybe get a little bit of ink over that part that's still kind of too bright for me. Yeah, there we go. This is the narrow one, is going to go inside of our other slotted die project here. Okay, I'm not going to bother with the back because I am going to cover that with something, so let me do the same here. My heat gun smells really hot. I wonder if it's going to give up the ghost here. I don't know. It smells hot. Okay, so there we go. I love both of them very much. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of background stamping. I should have kept that ink out just a second. This is actually brand new. I did invest in some Tim Holtz or Stupendous stamps recently, so in the last couple months. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of background stamping. Sorry, that's off camera. And just here and there. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. A little bit all crooked. That's okay. Just want a little bit of script. Okay, so let's do the same with this one. Just a really subtle look because I am stamping on or stamping with Vintage Photos, so it's not going to be as bold as, say, black or something like that. So, but I think it's just a great subtle look. I like it. So the other thing I didn't think about here is if I want to put anything behind our girl, like maybe a piece of lace or something, or maybe even some cheesecloth or something. Let me look behind me here in my big bin of lace and such. So we have... there's so much here, I'm cutting it off so I don't have to bring it all onto the table. So I'm wondering how this would look to have something like that right there. Oh, I love that. Okay, we have our answer. So easy peasy. Oh, this is going in the pocket though, so we do have to think about bulk. It should be okay. We're going to go ahead and give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I'll find a way to fix it. Pretty sure that's what I want to do. I also have a little bit of, that's too yellow. Okay, I'm ping-ponging now. I'm just going to bring my Fabri-Tac up here and decide where I want this to fall. And it's which way? This way is the right direction. This is lace that I've coffee dyed. So I think I just want it to kind of be, maybe I want it to kind of be at the bottom. Nope, middle. Middle. Don't have to be precise though, so I'm just going to put a bunch of glue here And I can tack it down more after I get it on here. So let's just get that. And I like that scallop right there. Actually, I want it to be like that so that we get the scalloped, this part on both sides. I think that makes some sense. And just kind of adjusting that a little bit. I'm going to hold it up and see if we're straight though. Looks to be pretty darn good. Grabbing a paper towel, I like to use it to press this down so that my fingers remain a little less sticky. It's not a cure-all, but it does help. There we go. Oh, I love that. Oh, so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. I like to turn it over and trim it. So, forgot to mention early on, good thing I remembered now. This is video, hold on, let me grab my calendar. I've already forgotten. This project is video number, this is video number 4 for the qualification for the Grungy Bee journal. So I didn't come up with a prompt or anything, so I have to think of something. What is my prompt gonna be? Oh my goodness. Oh, I have a great question for you. I'm sorry that these are all about me. Goodness gracious. So I'm wondering if you guys know what my first love is in terms of creativity. So I have done, this is my third like major kind of arena or of media that I have chosen to do in my crafting journey. And so give that a little bit of thought. I'll come back with the answer here in a little bit. That will be your prompt. You'll need to reference that in the comments by answering the prompt or the question, and that will qualify you for the drawing. So I will link I'm going to link an informational video that just went out today that kind of clarified how the drawing works and all of that stuff, in which I listed all 5 of the videos that will allow you to be qualified for the drawing. So we will come back to that in a moment. Completely forgot. So we're going to put that right there. I love that very much. I'm going to have her be up a little bit. So this is not quite even, but you know what? Perfection is not at play in the studio. You know how I say that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on and keep this very, very simple. I will probably put an eyelet on it here in a moment. Actually, I'll probably do the eyelet off camera. And as I often do, I will just show you those photos at the end of the video. Anything that I changed or updated on the project. But look at that. Isn't she absolutely gorgeous? And I love how we're getting some dimension there with that lace, which hopefully is not going to be a problem with our slot die. So we're going to move on to that. Oh, I have to do this one as well. I'm so sorry, guys. That's really bright. It's going to really make her pop though, which I think is really pretty. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to pull some of this lace from my stash. It's on a big roll here. This was a recommended product from Karen Beth over at Grace Bee Creations, and so I love it. So we're going to go ahead and use some of this, I think. Let's see what we want to do. That will actually help tone that down even more. So I think I'm going to use it, and I like it going that direction. So we're going to just go ahead and glue this whole piece of lace on top of this. This is just random for me. I didn't plan this, but it's what I'm feeling. So let's do it. The slot die project is just a matter of stuffing everything in there, just showing you what the arrangement was that I was thinking of. Nothing really, anything particularly special. Although I found the slot die and I never use it because I forget about it. So I'm just going to place that down, and I'm going to use my paper towel to press it and hold it for a second. So that'll give us a time to talk about the answer to the prompt. So my very first love is watercolor. I fell in love with watercolor probably 8 or 9 years ago, maybe longer. And I started playing, and like, I'm telling you, when I look back, I think, oh my goodness, you knew nothing about watercolor. But I absolutely, like, I grew in that medium. It's hard for me just because I don't draw, and so I can't create my own compositions, but I've learned a lot and I'm pretty good at it. My second love is mixed media. So I started my channel as a mixed media artist and started doing what I called Sunday's Art of Truth, which is an art / blog post kind of thing. So I would create an art project, and then I would have a, boy, that's sticky. And then I would have an art project to go with it. And it was always let's hope that we can pull that off. That was a bad scene. Let's see if we can pull that off. Give me a second. Goodness, that was holding it too long because I was yakking. It'll probably come off though. Will it come off? Let me get a baby wipe. See if I can affect that a little bit. There we go. So I created an art project that was inspired by something that I was processing or going through, or something that I learned, or something that I was working on in terms of my own personal growth or my faith journey. And I would create a mixed media project that went along with that writing. And I haven't done that in a while, just because of my illnesses and just life, death, and tragedy. So I hope to get back to that in the future, but it's not on my radar at the current moment. But mixed media is, in terms of the content that I create and what gives me the most joy, is mixed media. I love creating layers. I love expressing myself through mixed media art, because the layers to me say just as much about the project as the end product. So the layers and the things that peek through in a project is very fun for me. I just really, really love it. So watercolor is my first love, mixed media is my second, and I entered into junk journaling or journal making because I could merge those things together into my journals, which is, you'll see in the Grungy Bee journal. You might want to go back and look at the Grungy Bee playlist, because it is full of mixed media yumminess. So that is the answer to the prompt. So again, if you follow the process, comment with that answer, and anything else you want to add, that would be fantastic. So I am loving that. I feel like I need something else across the middle. So I'm just going to fish in here into my basket and see if there's anything that pops out at me. So I'm just going to pull this textile basket down, and because I feel like there's something else that's needed, and I'm not sure what or why, but oh, I love that right there. It's not quite big enough, so let me see if I got it. If I've got another piece of that. Oh, this is also really pretty, but it would take away from what's going on there. So give me just a quick second, you guys. I'm sorry, I didn't think about the textile part of this situation. Oh, this would also be really pretty. Just a piece of that lace going, or that, yeah, not enough contrast. So I'll be right back. Let's see if this one will do. I think I'm just going to call it, you guys, because I'm not really finding what I'm looking for. I'm not sure that I loved this lace choice, so I'm going to go actually vintage it up a little bit, and which is going to mean it's just going to create a little bit of texture and push that white back a little bit. I think that's what I'm struggling with. It's just a little bit too blended or too vibrant. And we've still got some paper towel here. Oh, it's coming up. Coming up. Thought I had it. A little bit some more. Maybe that'll help. That was a silly thing. I was talking and I kept pushing on that paper towel. So usually I just set it on there and pull it right back up. But boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. It's not like it's a really big deal. It's actually going to be covered up by this lace, so maybe I need to not fret about that. So, thinking I might want to just put that down here and then just put our little girl right there, our beautiful image. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. This was just a playful thing to work on, not anything super, you know, elaborate or important. Just, I wanted to use these digitals because they're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just lining this up so that the scallops are level. Where did I, there we go, that's that. About like so. Okay, and another press with my paper towel, just not holding it. I was just yakety yakking. So as I mentioned in my update video for the Grungy Bee journal giveaway, I don't know when the journal will be done. I plan on, this is Saturday, October, the 4th or 5th. And I plan on spending all day tomorrow in the studio working on it. And once I set my mind to it, I finish it pretty quickly, but it may not be done right at the point when I do the giveaway video. So when I get to that point, so just so you know. I love that now that it's trimmed down. And I think I'm just going to set her, oh, I actually kind of like her up like that. Maybe about halfway. Just want to clear that hole there. And my printer ran out of ink, so that's why that looks like that. Purple on the back, but that's okay because we're gluing it down. So let's just put her right right there. And again, I'll put an eyelid on there, and I will probably put a sentiment or something pretty there. So that is our second tag. And so let's get to the last thing, which is super easy. So again, I just cut this slot die out of my own mixed media paper. I did forget to ink this up, so let me do that really fast. Not that it's really gonna matter, but there we go. Okay, so when you put this in a journal, it's going to be glued on 3 sides. Actually, would have been cool to just get something to put it on. So let me see if I can just find something here in my drawer that would be fun to just glue that onto as a base. I'm not sure if I'm going to find something right here that's going to suit me, but let me look really quick. Okay, so I'm not feeling it because I don't know what kind of journal this is going to go into. So let's just show you what I was thinking. So this is going to go in a journal. In a journal, this would be glued on 3 sides, right? So this tag would fit behind it. So it wouldn't even go into a slot. It would just be right there. Okay, so that's that one. And then again, I have a lot of pieces here. Looks like some of them I forgot to ink up. So let me do that really quick. These are from Nostalgic Graphique Land. Hopefully I'm saying that right. They were in my stash and I completely forgot about them. So I thought they would be perfect as a little addition to the slots here. So how that can slide in like that. And then we've got a variety of the images here. So I thought that one could slide in there. And then another one here. Let me ink that one up. That one didn't print right. Not a big deal. So that one goes like that. And so then this one could slide in another slot like that. And just kind of, we've got these little cute writing spaces. And then we've got, I think I'll put this one in the middle. So I just use that die to cut her out and she can sit right there. And then I probably will find something to put this on before I take the photos, because I think as it is, it's not going to make a lot of sense, and it's not going to look really great for the the photos in terms of like, what is that actually, what's its function. So I think I'll do that when I go off camera, as well as probably, again, add a sentiment or two to the projects here that we've done. Like I can put something here that would be nice. And so then this one can go here, right? It's a little wide. I'll probably cut that one down. Actually, I don't want the big one in there. I printed these also smaller, so we could stick this one down in the first one, make it a little bit less overwhelming. So that's pretty much what it's going to look like. So that is it, my friends, for today. Thank you for putting up with my babbling. I feel like I was popcorning a lot. That happens to me, though, when I am feeling good. I haven't felt physically good in a couple of years, so this is what you get. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.